Right, so Learning Council's been doing a lot of research into where the market's going. And we've done mathematical modeling, basically showing massive loss, attrition to traditional public. We now are moving in the direction of not just teacher level tools, but omni AI. Don't know if you're familiar with the term.
No.
But essentially the mind of the enterprise. So what are your thoughts about structural shift in the traditional factory model of schooling?
So I'm really glad that you're asking this. There's really two factors going on here, right? One is the technology factor, which is currently manifest in AI, right? Which is, which you expect because it's
point solution.
Right. The other is the pedagogy that's going on in those schools, right? So there's technology here, and there's pedagogy here. If the technology conversation is always over here and the pedagogy conversation is always over here, then this is what we don't understand. We will use AI to support factory models, just like we use tablets to support factory models, just like we use film strips to support factory models, right? The technology doesn't change the teaching model. Pedagogy changes the teaching model. And this is exactly why ISTE and ASCD merged, is to make those two conversations one conversation. So what we're really focused on here, and the other thing that we released and that this whole conference is drenched in, is the transformational learning principles, right? Now it's much easier and more exciting to talk about AI than it is to talk about transformational learning, unless you're us, and we are just as excited about transformational learning. But those principles, we release those with the same excitement and vigor and energy as we do any of our AI stuff, because it's only by transforming how we teach that we will use the tools the right way. And so you have to take the transformational learning principles and use them to think about how you're using AI. If you do that, you'll use AI in the right places and not in the wrong places, right? And ISTE and ASCD, we've always been the grown up in the room. We've always said this is the right time to use PBL, this is the wrong time to use PBL. This is the right time to use AI, this is the wrong time to use AI. And we have to know that there are wrong times to use AI and there are right times. And if we're not guided by something like the transformational learning principles, we will lose our way. We will reinforce the factory model with the most cutting edge technology you can possibly think of. We can still put it on students in ways that puts them in a passive mode where they don't learn the next generation skills that they need.
Right. So what are your thoughts then on moving past generative into time AI, the other discriminative models, the agentic models, the theory of mind, these the emotional models, to rearrange the factory model so that teaching is only the performative moment. All study is done in homerooms. Airport-like flight boards put the kids at the right moment, only in cohorts that are all at the same moment, no mixed ability teaching. So you still have live teaching, but it's all pace-based. So every learning moment is an enrollment moment.
So our response to that would be that learning is fundamentally relational. Yeah. You cannot remove relationships from learning.
Yeah, this still has live teaching.
Well, I'm not.
It's like Uberized.
I'm not going to critique whatever specific model you're talking about. I'm just letting you know the principles that we follow. So learning is fundamentally relational. And if you're using technology to build and support and expand learning relationships, you're using it the right way. And if you're using technology to isolate a student with a computer, and the computer is going to be like the all-knowing, learning god, and fill their brain with stuff, you're using it the wrong way.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, so what I'm thinking with is, how do you make it so that we can manage the massive teacher shortage, the attrition, 100% personalization, and really move it so that you're using teachers for the best of their human ability rather than just stack on more tools?
That's exactly.
I think you and I are on the same page, right? Okay. Yeah, so that was my real question, is really where is the direction of structure and starting that conversation within your organization to look at what's different in structure because of AI. So I'd like to have you think with, where that's all going.
Sure, and I think, well, so one thing I'll just say, and unfortunately you missed part of our earlier part of the event. So we are right now convening communities of practice of education leaders, coaches, classroom teachers, principals, the whole gamut, to work through these issues. And out of that, we expect exemplars to come of actual practice. I feel like it's easy to talk in theoretical terms about things, but unless you're actually working directly with the educators, then you're not going to get there. And we are doing that. And so I think we'll have more to say on some of these specifics after we let that process run, because we don't believe in getting ahead of the people in the classroom and on the ground doing it. We want to guide them and support them, but in the end, we need to hear from them.
Partnerships with other organizations that are at the AI science level. Are you guys invested in that or working on that yet?
I mean, we are in touch with define AI science.
The frameworks where you would have a walled garden in a district or school, so that your large language models are your own and your data modeling, so that you're not sharing outside.
That's right.
The adoption we're seeing in schools and districts right now is trying to do that rather than tap just the consumer model. So are you starting conversations about what is best practice for student privacy, data sharing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You're talking through things that we're not ready to announce,
Okay.
but I don't mind telling you things that we're working on.
Yeah.
So we are working on a set of standards around AI tools that we're going to fold into the ISTE seal.
Okay.
That we're going to address some of the things that you're talking about. So we're on those pathways, but you know these take time and have to thoughtfully develop them.
Yeah, we definitely want to help you with that.